There we go. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what happened now?
I was well, the first day, girlfriend, or close girlfriend, Vivian home, and I also her. Uh, so we've had some minor ups and downs through life, and we've been retired now since 1989, and most of my working years were managing food things or in the food business myself. I owned a steakhouse here at one time, and owned another, what they called a corner fountain and grill. I made my own ice cream and sandwiches and stuff downtown here. And Eileen always helped me too. And so we've made a lot of moves through our years, but it seemed like every move we made a little more.
Yeah, well, yeah, we
So,
bettered ourselves.
But we,
Oh, man.
That's progress.
but we enjoyed our life, and we're looking forward now to our 67th anniversary coming up in September.
Mm-hmm. Well, name some of the places where you guys did work, because I know there's a bunch of them. They don't have to be in order.
That's a
but-
little bit embarrassing.
No, it's not. No. This is history. History in the making.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we're not only here in Detroit Lakes, but we own the pool hall in Durham.
Mm-hmm. Chili
and,
Kitchen in Detroit Lakes.
Chili Kitchen here in Detroit Lakes. And, I also done some other jobs when we had the Chili Kitchen. I managed the 7-Up distribution here in Detroit Lakes.
Wasn't that Chili Kitchen, Bill, wasn't that next door to the old theater that is now
Well,
gone?
pretty close to it.
Yeah.
Just another building in between.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, that that was the new theater, because the old one was in the next block.
And that was the State
Yeah,
Theater,
yeah,
they call
that
it.
was the State Theater, and the other one was the Lakes.
When they
Lake.
kind of went downhill there, then the State Theater didn't draw the crowds because they had the up-to-date machines and stuff in,
Yeah, in the lake.
in the new Lake Theater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But then I managed food service in Bemidji State College. I was the director of food service there, and also took care of some other ones that weren't connected to the university. Oak Hills Bible College, I managed their food service, and I managed the public school lunch program for 13 schools in Beltrami County at the same time that I was the head of the director of the university food service too. So
And you were in River Falls, weren't you, for a while?
we were in River Falls for about 6 years. We were there a year anyhow, and I was kind of second in command, and then they took the guy that was ahead of me, they took him out of there, and I was made the director there. And then we bought a home there, and we lived there another 5 years or better before we lost the contract then in the bidding thing, and that's when we moved to Bemidji.
And then from Bemidji, it was to Fergus.
Well, from
Fergus?
Bemidji, I moved back to Fergus Falls, and I managed a highway host restaurant out there right next to Interstate 94 there in Fergus Falls. And after that was when we got into the pool hall, and we made some good money there. Then I went back after we sold that. I went back into the contract food business again with my good stayed with that until I had another good friend that was had a big bakery and stuff in Milwaukee, Jim Greeby, and him and I met down in the Twin Cities, and he got me to go along with him, so we started Super Moms for Super America, and that got to be in a couple of years why we weren't just in the thousands, we were in the millions in bakery goods, and it was nothing for us to make 80 or 90,000 sandwiches a week that we were sending out of there. So I had quite an experience there of buying tables that had a belt and stuff in it, and they would move down, and so you could put one thing on and the next person could put something else on, and all depending on what you were making, how many places it had to stop, and then we had an automatic wrapper finally, we would wrap them and label them, and so, and then we got into salads and some of that before I left.
So it was
there.
all packaged right at the,
All packaged, and we were servicing 95 of our own stores that were owned by Ashland Oil or Super America, and then we were still capable. I know we made 14 stops at the University of Minnesota. We sold them one truckload after another of cookies and brownies and you name it, mostly sweet stuff. Bread was really, we tried to get into the bread business, but we were selling some beautiful loaves of bread for 19 cents, and we still couldn't make it with that. So we finally, well, we made a little of it and had it available for a few years, but it brought some people in, but and it was excellent bread.
was it Wholesome Bread Company that was one of the big producers of,
Well, that's where Uncle Ernie worked there for a while in Fargo.
yeah,
Yeah.
was that a competitor?
No.
No.
Not down in the Twin Cities, no. So I don't know where we go from there.
Well, let's see, where did we go from there? I guess.
I think you retired, didn't you?
Oh, I retired, yeah, in
Yeah.
1989, and they were so good to me. They paid me my regular salary and stuff for the rest of the year. I got out of there in, I think in April, and I know I had my check every week from them, and for the rest of the year, and my insurances and stuff were good too until the end of the year.
So what's the one thing that you would tell young people today about being in business? What's the one thing that you really...
Well, I think the big thing is anything that you're going to get into, why you've got to have the desire of what it really composes, what it's made to do, whether it's a bakery or if it's